Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody, for this onX Masterclass designed to show you how to get the most out of an onX Elite membership. We're going to just give it a couple of minutes, let people get situated, get signed in, all that stuff. While we're waiting, a couple of housekeeping items. Your audio and video are turned off, so if you've got noise in the background or dogs barking or kids making noise, no worries. We can't hear you, we can't see you. If you do have any questions you'd like to ask us, use the Q&A box down at the bottom. That's the best way for us to kind of see those questions and answer them. We'll do our best to get to as many as we can. We probably won't be able to answer everybody's tonight, but we'll try to do our best to address as many of those as we can. If you do have questions about your account, so things like billing, passwords, renewal dates, things like that, those are best sent to help@onxmaps.com. That's our customer service team. They're going to be able to pull up your account and take care of you that way. So we're just not able really to do that during the class tonight. And then make sure you stick around for the giveaway at the end of this. We have probably one of our coolest giveaways yet. So we'll post that link towards the end of the class, towards the end of the hour here, and make sure you stick around to get signed up for that. And last housekeeping item, this class is being recorded. You will get emailed a link tomorrow with the full recording. So if you have to drop off early or whatever reason, if you just want to go rewatch it, you'll have that link. It'll also be up on the onX YouTube channel, so you can check it out there along with all of our previous master classes. They always get uploaded there a day or two after the class is held. So if you want to go back and review some of those old ones, those will always be there for you. With that, looks like we got a few hundred people in here. So my name's Jack. I work here at onX, of course, work on the marketing side of things, kind of do these master classes, post our monthly one-on-ones, do a few other things. To my left is Andrew Willard. Introduce yourself.
Hey guys, this is Andrew. I also work on the hunt team for onX, supporting a lot of our product development and go-to-market strategy.
Awesome. Let's take a look at what's on the docket. So like the title of the class says, we're going to be focused on the Elite membership and what that gets you, how that can help you as a hunter. We're going to roll through some of our Elite tools, some of our Elite specific map tools, I should say. We're going to talk about some of our kind of Elite benefits and discounts and deals that are available to you as an Elite member, as well as some pretty cool educational opportunities that you have access to with your Elite membership. We mentioned the giveaway. We'll get to that towards the end of the class. We'll post that link in the chat, and then we'll try to save some time to answer as many questions at the end. Anything I'm missing?
No, let's get to it.
Awesome.
All right, everyone. So as Jack mentioned, we're depending on what state you're in or what you like to chase during hunting season, we're about 4 weeks out from things starting. We're excited, and what we wanted to do with you just before the season started is walk through all the different ways and aspects to get value from your Elite membership. This membership for us started as originally just a nationwide membership, but since then we've discovered that the main problem we wanted to solve is saving of time. Hunting is a pursuit of finite resources and time, and so everything we do with Elite is geared around saving precious time for you guys. And there are 4 different aspects to the Elite membership that we're going to walk through today. So the first are Elite tools. These are advanced mapping tools, and Jack is going to demo those. The second are Pro Deals, which are brands that we personally use and trust, and we have worked with each of those brands to curate some pretty exclusive offers for you guys to get you geared up, really like season in and season out. And then the next are expert resources. So like you all, we're constantly in pursuit of becoming better hunters. So we've worked with several partners of ours that either have education content or produce content with them, but are mainly focused on species tactics. So calling elk, scouting deer, training your lab, and so forth. And so you have a portion of those for free as an Elite member as well. And then finally, for those of you that apply for tags out west, we employ a suite of application services to help you research and draw tags out west. I don't know about you guys, but it gets harder and harder every year. And so we do as best as we can to equip you with the tools to make the right decision of where to apply each fall. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump in with map tools and have Jack do the demo.
Awesome. I'm gonna stop sharing here for a minute while I get my map pulled up. And so what we're going to demo first is the onX Hunt web map, which is on your computer. If you're not aware, you get access to onX on your phone, which is how most people kind of come into onX. It's kind of where most people hear about us and where most people use us. You also get onX Maps on your computer. So right here, I just went to onxmaps.com. There's a login button in the upper right-hand corner. You put in your same email address and password that you used on your phone. That'll bring up your map here. So I've just got this. This is kind of a test account here. So if you think you're looking at my hunting honey holes, maybe they are honey holes, but I haven't been to most of these. So first tool we're going to talk about is TerrainX. So the way that I usually access TerrainX is on the left-hand side here. There's this button that says Elite Tools. See a couple different options there. We're going to talk about Top Rut later. I'm going to jump into TerrainX. So what that's going to do is it's going to open up another window or another tab on my computer. And you see this looks, oh, those are all my personal account ones there that were cached from when I was using this earlier. But anyway, you see it looks a little bit different than your regular map. And this is still in beta testing mode. So we do have up here, you know, the opportunity to provide feedback for us. Please do, if you use TerrainX at all, send us some feedback of what worked well, what didn't, what you'd like to see. That's how we make it better is feedback from you folks. But let's jump in here. I'm just going to zoom in to a spot. This is in kind of the Bob Marshall Wilderness in northwestern Montana. You can see mountainous terrain here. You can see some of my map is grayed out and some of it is colored in. That's because I have these kind of, if you want to call them filters here, on the left-hand side that are only showing me specific types of terrain or specific areas. So the top one here is slope angle. So it's set automatically from 0, so flat, to 90 degrees straight up. What I can do, just to show you, I'm gonna turn these other two off for a moment so you can kind of get an idea of what it's all about. We know elk like to bed on, I think it's something like 20-degree slopes or less, or something about there. So if I'm looking for elk bedding areas, you know, they can't bed on cliffs. They don't like to bed on real steep terrain. So I'm going to start moving this slider down. And as I move, if you watch the map, you can see it start to gray out or black out the farther down I get. This is a pretty steep area. You know, the Chinese wall here is like straight up and down. But as I start to move this, it's starting to block out territory. So let's say I want to key in on areas that are 20 degrees or less. If I move to this area, I can say, man, these basins are all pretty steep. I'm not even going to look in here for elk bedding areas just because it's so steep, they're probably not going to be hanging out there. So that's one thing you can do here to filter. If I turn that off and I go to our slope aspect, this is where you're able to highlight certain facing slopes. So if I only want to see north facing slopes, I might move this to include everything that's north facing. You can see on this kind of dial here. So you can see the map here as I zoom in, it becomes a little bit clearer. I can see only north facing might be good for finding elk bedding. In the spring, I might change this to say, you know, show me the south facing slopes because I'm looking for spring black bears and I'm looking for those areas that green up right away. Whatever you're looking for, you know, you can kind of turn it if you want to not see north and you want everything else. Make of it what you want. It's just another tool you can use to dial in. I might turn on, you know, if I'm looking for elk bedding areas, I might say, show me north slopes that are less than 20 degrees. Now it's really dialing me in to those areas that I think elk are going to bed. North facing slopes, they got thick timber. It's a little bit flatter. No guarantees there's going to be elk there, right? There's always people and other variables in the mountains that can affect it, but that's a good starting spot for me. Now, if I turn those off and go down to elevation band, I can say, all right, I want to hunt, you know, we don't have this quite as much in Montana as say Colorado, early season mule deer, they're above tree line. And I might say, all right, in this area, I'm going to move it all the way up to 14,000 feet. And I only want to see stuff that's less than 10. So Montana, we're not quite as high of elevation as you find folks down there in Colorado, the Centennial State. If I have that correct. I know a few things. So you know that, and that can highlight some of those higher peaks for me in Colorado as I zoom in. You know, all these areas are above 10,000 feet. Maybe I want to bump it up, whatever, right? A little bit of trouble with my clicker here. And I can move it down. I can't move it down right now. That's an issue with the hardware on my computer. Anyway, you can see you can have it show just one thing. You can have it show all three. What I think the coolest is, if I turn these off for now, my favorite part of TerrainX is our view shed feature. So I'm going to come back to Montana. I'm going to zoom in here in the Bob Marshall again. And this view shed is, when I first saw this, it kind of blew my mind. This is pretty cool. So what view shed shows is if I'm standing on this spot, what I might be able to see. So the blacked out or grayed out areas are not going to be visible to me. And this is based on topography. This doesn't account for tree height, which I think we've all come across if you've hunted the Mountain West enough, especially the Northern Rockies. The trees, you know, you may have a wall of firs or pines or something in front of you that you're not able to see. But based on the terrain, I know, hey, if I climb up here to this peak, these are the areas I'm going to be able to see. And we've got these kind of diameter rings coming out from the center dot at mile increments. So, you know, if I zoom all the way out, like, oh yeah, it's green, but it's 4 miles away at the bottom. Maybe I can see that, maybe I can't. With wildfire smoke right now, probably not. So you can kind of dial in and say, hey, I'm at this spot and I can see a mile. I've got enough time, you know, if it's late in the afternoon and I'm gonna hit this area, I know something's probably gonna be within a mile of me for me to make a play on it, for example, things like that. You can, you know, mark a waypoint here if you want, similar to how you do it on the regular web map. That is still being built out as we add more features to this, as we're, like we said, we're beta testing. So that will be built out more in the future. That, in a nutshell, is TerrainX. I don't know if I forgot anything. No?
Good summary.
All right. So let me go back to my web map here. So the next tool we wanted to talk about that we just released this spring is our recent imagery. So if I go down in the lower right-hand corner here to my base map selector button, I'm going to click on that. This should look familiar to people that have used this before. This is your 2D, 3D selector. I can select my 3 different base maps. What's new is this recent imagery button. So if I just zoom in, I'm just going to pick a place kind of southeast of town here. I'll let that load up a little bit. So this is our regular satellite imagery. Should look familiar to most folks. If I hit our recent imagery, you see that kind of changes a little bit. And down along the bottom here, it tells me the time frame that image was taken. So July 10th through the 24th. If I want, I can go backwards. And these are all in 2-week increments. So we don't have an exact date of when it was taken because it's throughout the whole country and it's not always necessarily on the same day everywhere, but it'll give you a pretty good idea, you know, that 2-week window. So useful for, I had a good example of this. If I go to Wyoming, it's pretty stark. So we've got this area in Wyoming here. You can see there's a lot of snow. But as I zoom in, let me first turn off. So this is our base map imagery. This is Northwest Wyoming. A lot of snow when the flight was taken for the imagery. If I turn on recent and I go back to July, you can see it looks quite a bit different. So a lot of use cases for this recent imagery, you know, the one I just showed there, checking snow levels, whether it's the spring or the fall, if you want to see, hey, can I even get back into this area? What's the snow kind of looking like there? You can use it for checking water levels. Say I'm duck hunting, I want to see what the condition of the prairie is if I'm hunting North Dakota or something. I want to check and see, hey, what are the crops looking like? Have crops been taken out? I'm going pheasant hunting in South Dakota, which I am this year. I'm pretty stoked about.
Yeah,
We hit it perfect last year. They were combining as we were hunting, and there's pheasants pouring out.
love the comment.
Yeah, it's good times. You can use it to check leaves, whether leaves are still on or off, what that looks like, flood levels, all kinds of different uses. I'm sure there's a ton out there that I'm forgetting. But it's another tool you have. And like we showed here, you can go back in time. So every 2 weeks, we add another image. So that library of older imagery, historical imagery gets bigger. So you can imagine in a couple of years' time, we're gonna have a pretty sweet bank of imagery that you're gonna be able to go back and say, all right, September 1st, what does this area look like? Well, last year it was, covered in snow. This year it's not. Whatever, right? And that is available on your mobile app as well. I forgot to mention with TerrainX. Right now, TerrainX is only on the web map. So you have to log in there to be able to see it. Recent imagery is on your phone app as well. So I'll demo that here in just a moment, right after we talk about our imagery on demand. So let me I'm going to turn this off, get us back to square one, get us back to Missoula. Here we are. Now, on my toolbar on my right-hand side, I have this button that looks like a satellite. If I click on it, this is our imagery on demand service. So another type of kind of recent imagery, an option that's available to you. So this is a custom ordered image that only you are able to see on your account, that you can order prior to a hunt is kind of the classic example. If I want to see, I'm traveling to an area, maybe it's halfway across the country. I just want to get a look at, hey, what does this area of the country look like? Because I'm not able to drive there and see, say I'm going to Colorado for an elk hunt and I live in Pennsylvania. It's going to be pretty hard for me to get out there and scout for most people, right? But I could order an image of my intended hunt area if I want to. So how you do that? You click the button that says choose map area. You're going to get an image on your screen that looks kind of like this. I can move my map around. I can get it centered on where I want. Let's say this waypoint here is the area that I intend to hunt. What you do is you orient your map like that. I'm going to give my map area a name. I'm just going to name this one the test, and I'm going to add to my cart. So what's going to happen once I check out and pay for this image, it is an added cost to do this flight. It's pretty cool how this happens. Like there's satellites floating above. You send your order in for this image, and then the satellites kind of redirect. And when they fly over, they'll take your picture. It could take up to 2 weeks. That's kind of our long end, right? I know Jeff in a previous class said he's seen some that returned within like a few hours, which is crazy. Don't bank on that. If you're driving out for a hunt and you're like, hey, I want to see what it looks like, you intend to hunt tomorrow, odds are you're probably not going to have your image within a day. It might happen. So give yourself plenty of time. If you're saying I'm going to Colorado Labor Day weekend, order it a couple weeks ahead of time to ensure that you receive the image before you head out.
And the reason for that is we have created tolerances in our app so that the satellite isn't taking pictures of cloud cover. So if you're seeing a delay in your imagery, that's because we're waiting until there's a clear window so you get a good image and an image doesn't come back looking like clouds.
What happens if it does return with clouds and we hit that 2 week window?
Good question. So if for whatever reason it does hit clouds within that window, you'll see a refund come in on your charge for that image. And right now you'll have to go back in and purchase that image again. Something we're working on fixing, but right now, if you happen to see a refund in your account, that's why. So just go back in and reselect that image to reschedule that satellite flyover.
Yeah, so you know that you're not going to get, a picture that's all cloudy and then you're out the money. That's not the case. You're gonna get your money back, and you just would have the opportunity to reorder another picture.
I think in general, up-to-date imagery in our product is one of the both the most important things and also something we get the most negative customer feedback about. I think that we're constantly trying to fix. And so what we've tried to do this year is add these additional tools to you guys to be a complement to your base map and have different and new ways of exploring what your product looks like. And we have one more aerial feature coming for Elite this fall. And for you whitetail hunters, I think you'll get excited. We have leaf off imagery coming. For those in the Midwest and the South, you'll be able to see what the forest board looks like when all the leaves fall off the trees. That'll be another option you'll be able to select.
And that's just select states to start, right?
Yeah, just select states in the Midwest and the South and the Northeast.
Yep. So that's super cool. I think I saw that. I saw some testing stuff come across soon where they want us employees to test that. So that means we're getting close once we're at that step. So.
Yep.
All right. So that's imagery on demand. The next Elite tool we're going to talk about is our route builder. So if I go back over to my Elite tools here, I've got route builder. So I click on that. So this is a cool way for me to kind of lay out where I need to go to get back into my hunting spot and to kind of have onX show you the fastest way to get there, the most efficient way to get there. So I'm just going to zoom out. I'm going to pick a spot. Let's go up here. And again, I've never been to this place, so if you're somebody who hunts here, I'm not hot spotting or anything like that. But let's say I'm going to go into the big snowies here, and I want to go to this campground. So I open up my route builder tool here, my menu. I'm going to click on the campground. That's going to set my first point. And I have snap to selected here. That's selected by default. That's what you want, at least for this use case scenario. So that's where I'm going. I live in Missoula. I'm going to go back to Missoula. Probably would have helped if I zoomed out a little bit more. That's all right. Here I am at the onX office. And I'm going to put my route right here in the parking lot. Fantastic. So just like your other markups on your map, I can change the color of this if I want. I'm just going to make it red. I can name it, which is what I recommend. I'm going to put Big Snowies. I can change the style and the weight. I'm just going to leave that alone for right now. And I'm going to hit save. So now when I zoom out, you can see I've got this red line saved on my map that routes me automatically over to the Big Snowies. So of course, most of it's on the interstate here for a while. We're going to cross the Continental Divide. We're going to head north. That's going to bring us over to the Snowies. So what's cool about this is it'll route you on those Forest Service roads as well. So whereas some mapping services are kind of pavement specific, we'll take you off the pavement as well. And as long as we're able to determine that, yes, this road is open, yes, this road is, for vehicles and things like that, and doesn't have like a seasonal closure, we're going to show you exactly how to get to that point that you placed on the map.
I think the cool things about this tool is, at least for us when we're hunting national forest or other public access, there's often a maze of different public roads through it, and it's hard to figure out in the moment how to navigate through that. So the benefit of this tool, or one of the benefits to me at least, is when you're trying to figure out that maze and again, save yourself time, this will snap to the most efficient route to get there. So you don't have to try to puzzle through it almost looks like a bowl of spaghetti of different roads in one area.
I know prior to this, I used to go in with my line distance tool and draw out and trace those roads, because you come to that fork in the mountains, you're like, man, do I go left? Do I go right? You come to a junction and there's 5 different roads that lead off it. And it's kind of, might take you a little bit of time to determine, all right, I got to go this way. Here, you can just draw it and it'll tell me that line. I can look at it on my phone and boom, I can just follow it, whether I'm hiking, driving a 4-wheeler, driving a car, what have you. Anything I'm forgetting on route builder? Got it. Let's hop over. I'm going to stop sharing here and I'm going to pull up my phone so I can show you some of these tools on the mobile app there. So one moment while I get that set up. It always takes a few seconds for Zoom to pull that up. All right, so here we are. I'm going to open up my app on my phone. You can see that route I just made is showing up there already. So I can take this with me. Obviously, I'm not going to be driving in my truck with my laptop. I'm going to move us out of the way here. There we go. I'm not going to be, on my laptop with the route builder pulled up there. So I've got that. I can follow it with my truck, and get out there. Looks like we just showed you on the computer. To look at the recent imagery on your phone, let me zoom in here a little bit so you can see better. Similar to the computer, I go to my base map button here. I click recent imagery and I can see that change. The one thing that's different on mobile right now is it's only showing you the most recent image that was taken. So right now it is a little bit more limited on your phone versus on the web map on your laptop or home computer. We are working for parity in that. So in the future, you will have that look back option available on mobile, just not quite there just yet. The lights just turned out on us because we have timers here at the onX office. Andrew's going to go hit that to your left there, Andrew. There we go. The lights are back. Gotta love it, don't you?
Keeps us on our toes.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop sharing here. My phone is broken, so here we are again. So I think we kind of hit all the big tools, right?
Yep.
For the elite membership. So again, those are some of the new offerings we've got for you as elite members. Go ahead and check those out. Let us know what you like about them, what you don't like about them. That's how we're able to make this better, whether it's through that feedback button in TerrainX or just by emailing us, and letting us know, hey, it'd be cool if it did this, or hey, I'd really like to see this in the future. We always keep track of all those, and a lot of those customer suggestions have made it, into the app. That's why a lot of that imagery stuff was, we heard from customers, hey, I want more options. I want to be able to see more recent imagery, and we're happy to have it in there now.
Yeah. All right, share again, and we can look at some of the other aspects of the elite membership.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of our pro deals, shall we?
I don't think you're sharing your screen.
I am not yet. Let me share. Sharing is caring, as they say.
Okay, so these, keep in mind what we just covered are the elite specific tools in the mapping application itself. And now what we're going to do is transition to looking at the elite tools outside of the mapping application.
So what I've done here, I've just gone to our website, onxmaps.com. At the top, I'm going to click on onX Hunt. And then I'm going to click Elite Membership. So this is where you can kind of get a bit of a rundown on what Elite gets you. If you want to purchase there, you can. You can see all of our, some of the stuff we've talked about right now. And what we're going to talk about next are our pro deals. So if I click this Learn More, that's going to bring us to our Elite Benefits page.
Cool. So as I mentioned, one thing that's really important to us and to all of you is gear. Gear, as we all know, doesn't make your hunt, but it certainly makes your hunt a lot better. So what we have done is in the office, we have several different species we focus on. We focus on Western big game, whitetail, upland, waterfowl, and turkey hunting. And we have folks in the office that do all of those, and we only add into Elite actual things that we use and trust in the field. So we're not sponsored by any of these folks. We genuinely like the stuff that they have, we use it, and when we use their stuff, we reach out to them and ask if we can do something exclusive for Elite so that you all can have access to as well. So one thing you'll notice that there are a lot in here, but we have the ability for you to filter by game types. So if Jack clicks on game types, you can filter down by the type of hunting style that you like the best, and it's going to automatically sort those for you. So we just clicked whitetail, and so as Jack scrolls down, you can see all of our Elite partners that are tied into whitetail. The other thing you're going to notice here is some Elite partners have this red featured tag on them. That means that we have something really special going on with that partner right now. And so definitely check those out. Our Elite benefits run all year round, but we occasionally do these extra special things, especially this upcoming week, which we'll talk about here at the end. So What I want to do now is show you how to actually take advantage of one of those. So Jack, if you want to just jump down to Montana Knife Company at the bottom of the whitetail page here. So Montana Knife Company is a awesome company right here in Frenchtown, so just up the road from us. And we use their knives constantly. High quality products made right here in the USA. And we've worked with them to build an onX Hunt edition of their Blackfoot knife, which is the favorite of the guys in the office. So you can go and purchase that. There's limited stock, and they've done an exclusive 15% off. So what you're going to do if you're an elite member is you can come to any of these pages. If you're not logged in or not elite, you'll be prompted to do so, and you won't see or have the ability to take advantage of this. But if you are logged in and are elite, then you'll have this block Jack has on the right that has the offer and get elite benefits. So Jack will click on that, and it's going to take him right to the unique landing page on the Montana Knife Company site for people to buy a knife.
And I think this is the first this has really been talked about.
Yes,
as far as I know.
We just turned this on about an hour ago. So yeah,
So you folks are going to get the first crack at this.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, that is. I've saw one of these in the office before. It is a pun heavily intended. A sharp-looking knife.
It is sharp.
I'm sorry.
So if you jump back and just clear out the filter to all the benefits.
Yep. So we're cleared out here.
So if you're, as Jack mentioned, as you scroll through, there's all kinds of good stuff in here. We have folks like Rob Roberts that are giving away a shotgun for elite and have early access to their choke tubes for you waterfowl and shotgun hunters. We have made a big investment into the trail cam space recently. So if you scroll to the top, Jack, we have stuff going with folks like Bushnell and Covert. Bushnell for elite members, if you're buying a new camera, you'll get 25% off and 3 months of free unlimited data as part of that. So again, like our job with Elite is to bring you value beyond compare and find a way to like save you valuable time.
Yeah, that Bushnell deal especially is pretty sweet because you get the cell camera, you get 3 months of data. So I mean, that's basically for a lot of folks, that's their hunting season. If you start it in September, October, November, there you're set for this year on your data. It won't really cost you anything for data plan out of pocket. That's pretty sweet.
So another value of this is they're actually accessible from within both our mobile app and web map itself. So we're going to show you guys how to do that right now.
Yeah, let me go back over to my web map here. We'll show you that first. So here we are again. I go over to my kind of toolbar on the left side here, Elite Benefits. You can see the different companies here. So if you want to just specifically go to Covert or Upland Gun Company or Old Tom or whoever, you can do that. You can also click View All Elite Deals. That's going to bring us to the page we were just on. I think that's probably the easiest way to get to the Elite Benefits. There's a few other spots on our website you can get there like we showed you earlier, but that's probably the fewest clicks for you.
Yep. And then the access within the app is also super easy. So we'll go ahead.
Yep. I'm going to stop sharing there. I'm going to start on my phone again. 1 minute. All right, it's making me rejoin Zoom because my phone is old. Hang with us for 1 second. Andrew, you got a joke for the people while we wait?
So bad at delivering punchlines and jokes.
And I put you on the spot there too,
I know.
so that makes it super easy.
You did. So I don't
All right.
have a good one, unfortunately.
Oh, that's all right. I got this pulled up pretty nice. 3, 2, 1. Here we are. All right, let's get back here. That's my news. There we are. So I'm back in the app here. In the upper left-hand corner, we have this hamburger menu, those 3 horizontal lines. If I tap that, you can see this is my Jack Headland test account. If I click on Elite Benefits up there at the top in orange, should look familiar. Here you got same menu basically, right? You can see all the different companies there. If I click View All Elite Deals, that's going to bring me to that page. Again, it's a little bit different on mobile, but basically the same thing that you saw on your computer earlier. Good stuff.
Yeah.
What are we forgetting on Elite Deals? I think we
Pro
did it.
deals were good. Let's talk about education.
Let's do that. I'm going to pop back off this and pop back to my computer. And let me get the right thing pulled up here. There we are.
That takes us back to the main page, or the main elite page rather. Just to show folks.
When you say main elite page, this one right here.
Yep. Okay, so as I mentioned, the other pillar of elite are what we would call expert resources. And that is like we have spent time with people that are really, really good at their respective hunting pursuits that have education content on how they get after it. So it's basically hunting tactics. So we've worked with the folks at Elk Collective, Born and Raised, THP, Retriever Roadmap, Upland Institute, Mossy Oak to build education courses for you. So if you scroll down, you go past Pro Deals, see an intro into that right now. It's just going to take you to the Pro Deal page. We will have a dedicated page for this at some point soon. So if you could click in, I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. So why don't we go to Elk Collective.
Here.
Yep. Okay. So again, we're still within the website, or you can view this within the app, and the Elk Collective course is sitting in here. So if Jack's logged in as a lead, if he decides that he wants to brush up on elk calling, he can go down to chapter 3. And as he scrolls down, he's going to see 3 different modules from the Elk Collective. And I think a lot of these have like Dirk Durham and Dan Staten in them on fundamentals, general bull, and basic cow sounds. There's, I think, 6 total chapters of the Elk Collective, but as I mentioned, we have modules in elk hunting, whitetail hunting, upland and waterfowl, dog training, and turkey hunting. So just saw a shout out one of the comments on Turkey Academy. That was something we worked and produced alongside Mossy Oak. That's all about turkey tactics. So even though it's not turkey season, you can go in, and again, as Jack scrolls down, it's the same format where we have a full suite of courses here for you to brush up. So highly recommend, whether you're a seasoned hunter or a new hunter and looking to brush up on tactics and knowledge, this is something that's important to us, and we're going to continue adding value here. So for sure, go ahead and check that out. Show us dog training. We can do that.
Dog training.
So we have Upland Institute and Retriever Roadmap. So Upland Institute is focused on, obviously, upland and pointing dogs. We have a subset of 3 modules there on sort of core training methods. We have train, retrieve, and we have some advanced bird work. And these are a curated set of classes from the Upland Institute. And I should let you know that one of the benefits of these is not only do you get a curated set, but you can also purchase the full course at a discount. And that's the same for all of these elite benefits. Again, we want to make sure that education is open to you guys. So that's Upland. And then for waterfowl, we have Retriever Roadmap, which is again focused on labs. And I think the 2 modules we have in there, one is focused on puppy education. It is, so we have a whole slew of puppy training. And then something that Josh Miller does really well over there is we have a whole set of hunt breakdowns. So it's like looking at game footage, if you will, of him playing back different hunts with his dogs and breaking down what's wrong. So again, we have 5 different education courses, and we're going to keep building those out. I saw a shout out for duck and goose calling. That's great feedback. Something we're absolutely exploring. So yeah, check it out.
And one thing I will say on the Retriever Roadmap Upland Institute side, I don't have a lab. I got a German Wirehair pointer. There's still a ton of stuff in the Retriever Roadmap that's applicable to what we do, and just basic kind of dog training stuff from both of those. Same with the Upland Institute. Say if you say, well, I don't really have a pointer, still check it out. There's all kinds of stuff that's applicable across breeds. So don't feel like you gotta, pick one or the other. Take a look at both of them. If you got the elite membership, at least those basic ones, these modules that we have for you don't cost you anything extra. You can take a look at them, and if you decide, hey, I'd like to get the full course, you can take advantage of the savings that we have for both of those.
Yep. So a quick question on if we have whitetail content. We do. We have built a course with the guys at THP. So we have a portion of their deer school in here. So Jack's just clicked into that. A lot of it focusing on their approach to scouting. especially on public land east of the Rockies. And then we have some hunt breakdowns in there as well. So to answer your question, yes, we do have whitetail hunting tactics and education content.
That deer stuff, I've been deer hunting longer than I've been hunting anything else. I'm by far a novice. I'm not an expert in any sense of the word, but been doing it for 20 years. Like to think I know a few things. And I went through this whole deer school, and man, there was times where I'm like, man, that makes a ton of sense. You know, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I notice that? It's super cool. Those guys spend more time in the woods than just about anybody else out there.
They do.
They've got some really good information there for you on the THP Deer School.
Yep. Okay, so the last piece of the elite membership that we're going to talk about are the Western application services. So Jack, actually, if you jump back to our elite main page, just to show folks, and you scroll down.
Went too far.
Oh, there we go. Western application tools. So for all of you that either hunt the West or intend to hunt the West, it is extremely complex and it changes constantly. So this is a pain point for us as we were trying to draw big game tags in multiple states every year. And so we've onboarded some of the best in the industry to help not only ourselves, but you guys with that as well. So there are 3 tools here. If you click in to that page, Jack, the first is TopRut, which is a draw odds tool, which we can log in and show you. The second is Hunt Fool, which is your boots on the ground wisdom. These guys absolutely get after it. They hunt more states and more species in a year than most people hunt in their entire lives. And they're an incredible resource for qualitative, like what's happening in this unit. And then finally, we partner with a company called Hunt Reminder, and they provide reminders and notifications for draw deadline. So the combination of all these tools is designed to help you research and draw tags. Obviously, we're getting into hunting season. That's not top of mind for any of us, but it always sneaks up on you. We can jump in and show you TopRut and log in real quick, but want to make you guys aware that these are free resources for you to help you dial in your hunting plan this year.
And one thing before we jump into TopRut, I just remembered about Hunt Reminder. Hunt Reminder's got stuff, I think, in just about every state. Like states where you have to put into hunt a WMA, they've got reminders in there for you. So even if you're like, I'm not really interested in hunting the West, odds are there's something in your state or a nearby state. I know I use it for Minnesota black bear. There's all kinds of different ones in there. So do check out Hunt Reminder for sure. But we're going to jump into TopRut right now. So let me click on that. I'm going to log in to my test account. I remembered my password correctly. All right. So I'm just going to do this. Actually, here's the other way to get to TopRut. I'm going to log in again. Never mind. Since this is a test account, mine's acting a little wonky. Yours will be more straightforward than this. Yeah, it's being all weird. I can just go to toprut.com, can't I? Still bring me there?
Do the same.
Right.
Want me to try to mess with it with my personal?
Well, here's what we're gonna do. I'll try with my personal account because this one is giving me fits. Let's try that. All right. Why don't you go in with yours? Because I can't remember my password to save my life.
Nope, it's being broken. All right.
It's probably weird stuff that's cached on my work computer here.
Yeah, apologies for that, guys. So we won't be able to show you TopRut, unfortunately, tonight. It is a draw odds tool. So what you'll see when you log in is you're able to select your Western state, the species you want to pursue, and then input the amount of preference points you have, or if you don't, and look and filter by different units and see what your odds are to draw. So again, not necessarily the perfect time to be looking at this now, just going into hunting season, but I would recommend that come December, for you folks in Idaho come November, so you can be researching, get into Top Rut and Huntingful and Hunt Reminder, get your plan dialed. So all of that is part of your elite membership.
Yeah, and that's something a lot of people don't know that we have is those draw odds there, being able to keep track of your points. The Hunt and Fool, you get that electronic membership, the e-magazine. I was just in there the other day because Arizona just like released some extra tags. So I went back to the Arizona issue where Hunt and Fool broke down and said, these are kind of the units that we recommend. This is what you can expect. It tells you, hey, this is a really physically demanding hunt, or hey, this one is, you know, you might want some local knowledge or an outfitter to help you have success on this one. There are other ones where they say this is a relatively easy hunt physically. You can kind of show up and hunt it successfully. So they do a really good job of breaking it down for what type of hunt that you specifically are looking for. And you also, as an elite member, you do get a discount on some of their upgraded memberships, for lack of a better term. You can call them and say, hey, let's break down my application strategy. I'm looking for elk hunts. I want to apply everywhere for elk. I only want to apply in this state, but I want to apply for everything. And this is the kind of hunt I'm looking for. Like Andrew said, they've been everywhere. They're like that Johnny Cash song. So they'll be able to tell you what the units are like and what to expect on a hunt in that area. So really cool stuff.
Cool. All right. Bring it back to our slide deck.
Let's do that.
Okay, so just to recap, oh, lights turned off again.
I got you.
For like FBI informants.
I think it's every 20 minutes.
There are 4 aspects of your elite membership that we encourage you to check out, and also we'd love your feedback on, because we're always working to improve it and add value to you guys. So there's the exclusive mapping tools, pro deals, the expert resources we covered, and then finally the application service. So all of those, again, geared towards saving you guys all meaningful and valuable time. And yeah, thank you for trusting us in the field with you.
And one thing we didn't really mention is you can really quickly make back your elite membership fee. You know, there are some of those deals in there where you're saving, I think the Retriever Roadmap, aren't you saving? You're saving like $200. So if that was something you were going to buy, you know, you get the elite membership and you get the Retriever Roadmap, you're money ahead there. So some pretty cool stuff. All right, fun stuff. Well, it's all been fun, but this is especially fun. We are giving away 4 different gear packages tonight. So everybody's going to get the chance to enter to win one of these gear packages. We have an Elk Collective course and Vortex's top of the line Razor UHD 10x42 binoculars for the Western big game folks. Whitetail package, full access to the THP Deer School and Tethered Saddle Kit, which is really sweet. Tethered's pretty new to the elite benefits, correct? I'm excited to have those guys on. Upland Institute course and Final Rise vest. I got a Final Rise vest last year. That thing is awesome. You have one too, correct?
Yeah.
Those things are sweet. And rounding it out for the waterfowl folks, Retriever Roadmap full course and a Rob Roberts Raptor choke. So
I will say on the Rob Roberts piece, those Raptor chokes are new, and they built, like Rob Roberts himself, built a custom onX Hunt Edition Benelli shotgun. So if you used your Rob Roberts Elite benefit now and go in, and you pre-order a Raptor choke, you'll be automatically signed up for a chance to win that shotgun. We have pictures of it on our page and on the Rob Roberts page. It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet. I'm going to stop sharing right now just so I can go in and grab that link for you guys and drop it in the chat so that you can get entered there. So I'm going to drop that in the chat for folks. So make sure you do get entered by midnight tonight is when the giveaway closes. So if you are watching this on the YouTube channel after August 3rd, I'm sorry, the giveaway is closed. You're not able to enter, but we do different giveaways for just about every one of our classes. So make sure, you know, you get signed up for some and you get yourself entered to win. I want to post that again because the chat is busy and we're
well, so with that, why don't we do about 10 minutes of Q&A?
Yeah, let me pull that up here.
Yeah.
So we've kind of talked about this, but the first one, what's the benefit of the elite membership if I only hunt one state?
Yep. So as I mentioned, elite is a comprehensive membership, including and more so than mapping. So the benefits of Elite, even if you're hunting one state, are those advanced analytics tools we looked at with TerrainX, recent imagery, route builder, leaf off coming up, and some other fun ones we have coming this fall. Then of course you have the elements of Elite beyond the map, like pro deals, those education resources and application services as well. So again, Elite is designed to help and support you in every aspect of hunting and not just that.
Here's another question we got. If I get the Elite membership, how much additional space does it take up on my phone? It doesn't really take up any additional space to go to Elite. I won't say it won't take up any space. Engineers would be able to, or software folks be able to answer that. But if you're worried about, man, I don't have much storage space left on my phone, what really takes up space in your onX app is offline maps that are downloaded. That's what takes up the bulk of your storage space on your phone. So if you're worried about, man, I only hunt Minnesota, or I'm hunting Minnesota, I'm going to Colorado this year for a mule deer hunt, I want to add it, but I'm worried about my phone, I would say don't really worry about it. You may have to offload some offline maps if you're right at your storage limit. Offline maps are quite a bit smaller than what they were in the past. I remember when I started onX 5 years ago, you could fill up a phone pretty quick with our old offline maps and all that system worked. The way they are now, they're pretty, I don't know how they did it, but there's more information on them and they're taking up less space, which is pretty sweet. So wouldn't worry about that. If that's what is keeping you from checking out the Elite membership, I would say it's probably a non-issue for you. Question about how to get recommendations for hunting guides for various states in Alaska.
Yeah, so for hunting guides, I would call Hunting Fool. As we mentioned, they have Elite members get their digital membership for free, which has their sort of qualitative analysis and insight of different states and species and units. But you can also, as an Elite member, upgrade to their higher end memberships, again, at a discount. And I would just encourage you, like, you will never meet a better group of people than the folks at Hunting Fool. It is well worth a all access membership with them to hop on a phone call. Not only they're extremely knowledgeable, but they're just great. we love working with them. So if you have questions around guides and outfitters, Hunting Fool would definitely be the resource for you.
Yeah, they vet those folks and they have people that they've worked with. I mean, some of the Hunting Fool guys are guides and outfitters.
Yeah.
So they're able to say, yep, these are folks we've hunted with or worked with in the past. We know they're good. They're going to treat you right. So definitely check them out. Jumping into the live Q&A here. How long do you anticipate recent imagery will go back in the future? So are we going to limit that and it's only going to go back a certain amount of months, or what's that going to look like?
Yeah, so we started collecting the recent imagery back in the spring, I think April or so. And our goal is from here on out, that's going to be the repository of recent imagery. So in 2 years, you'll be able to click all the way back to April of 2023 and map those over time.
See a few questions on that. Let's see. If you order an image, so talking about imagery on demand, what's the definition of that image look like?
Good question.
What's the resolution?
So on the different types of aerial we discussed today, we discussed, again, your base map, we discussed recent imagery, and we discussed on-demand imagery. The base map is going to be your highest resolution. After that, the on-demand image is going to be the second highest, and recent image is going to be your third highest. And you may ask, like, why is that? And the reality is there's a trade-off for recency. And so our goal and our intent in bringing all these tools together is that you're not using just one to plan your hunt, or in the field, you're using multiples of them at the same time to pick apart and analyze terrain in different ways. One other thing I forgot to mention on the on-demand imagery is, even though you can only order the image on web, the image actually shows up on your phone. So that image is just part of your content. It is just yours, and you'll be able to see that on your phone and toggle it on and off, almost like a layer in the app.
It's a good point. I was just going to say, you can turn that on and off. So if you don't want to see it at all times, you can always turn it off.
Yep.
Imagery on demand, just the United States, correct?
It's just the United States. And there's another question on cost of it. It's $60 per image order. For those of you that have ever looked into ordering a satellite flyover, usually that's several hundred, upwards of $1,000. So at $60, it's a tremendous value to be able to have your own satellite fly over the area you want to hunt.
Another IoD question, Bill is wondering, is imagery on demand kept or stored in a data bank for access to onX employees or others? Who else will see that map during its access and download? Great question.
Yep. So if you order an image, it is your image. Jack and I can't see it. No one else using the Hunt app can see it. It is the same as if you dropped a waypoint. That is your content, you paid for it, and it is yours alone.
Saw a question in here about if I upgrade from premium to elite, do I pay the full cost? What I would recommend to make sure it's done properly, because there's multiple different ways you can purchase a membership, either from our website, from the Apple App Store, from the Google Play Store. If you have a premium membership right now and you want to upgrade, I would recommend emailing help@onxmaps.com. They will be able to make sure that you prorated on that upgrade. So if you just bought premium earlier this summer, you spent $30, you're not going to spend $100 to get elite, if you upgrade now. They'll prorate that based on how much time is left in your membership, and they'll make sure it's all taken care of. So if you are thinking of upgrading, you already have premium, that's the route I would go, just to make sure you're not paying money that you don't have to pay. Let's see. Someone's mentioned would like to see the GMUs on TerrainX. That's all coming. We will have eventually, our layer system, all of that in TerrainX with land ownership and GMUs and everything. So good call out there. That is something we're working to add in. Ooh, here's a good one that we should get. Anything in the works for bear hunting education tools? I don't know that much exists out there as far as like a course.
Yeah, good question.
But I do love bear hunting, so I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, let's see, some stuff kind of in the education world. We actually, here in a couple weeks, we're releasing a rifle shooting course for Western and Whitetail. We partnered with Seekins Precision and Vortex Optics on, so you guys will be able to see that. We have a shed hunting course coming early next year. Haven't talked about bears yet, though. We may need to chat about that one. We've gotten requests for bear defense, for archery hunting, but none for bear hunting yet. So we'll have to look at that. Jack and I both love spring bears, so Jack and I would,
bear. It's all great.
You get our vote.
All right, let's see. Let's try to find. I'm just trying to scroll through here. A lot of questions on the recent imagery resolution. We kind of talked about that. It is not as high of resolution as the base map. Part of that is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe our base map imagery, a lot of that's flown over with planes. And then the recent imagery is satellite. So it's different technologies. The recency, that's the trade-off, right? You're getting more recent imagery. They're just not able to do those detailed images like you are on our regular base map. That's why our regular base map is not updated as often, because of the cost and the difficulty in doing those flyovers to take that high resolution. So the recent imagery is lower resolution. Down the road, who knows? Technology is always changing. Maybe something changes far down the road, but for right now and for the near future, the imagery resolution is a little bit less than a regular base map.
I saw a question here about TerrainX, and the question was, it didn't look like in TerrainX that, or rather the waypoints carried over from the customer, but not the names of the waypoints. So you're not missing anything in TerrainX today. You're just going to see generic representations of your waypoints. You're not going to see the name or the actual icon yet. That's why TerrainX is still in beta mode. It is something we're working on. As Jack said, you can drop waypoints in and out of it, but at the moment, the names and again, like the actual icon itself will not transfer between the Hunt app and TerrainX.
Yep. All right, I think one more here. Something we forgot to mention: Elite Tools is available on my phone. That button that you saw me clicking on the web map, that's just on the web map there for those Elite Tools. So you're not missing anything. It's not on your phone like it is on the web map. My mistake for not mentioning that earlier.
Yeah. And the different Elite tool features are sprinkled throughout the app on the phone. So if you just go to your tool menu, you'll be able to see Route Builder there. If you go to the imagery on your phone, that's where recent imagery lives. And then of course, Elite Benefits lives up in that hamburger menu. So the tools are dispersed in the mobile app, mainly due to space, so that we're not cluttering up the screen for you guys.
I know I said one more question, but here's one more that just popped up. Tom was asking, he says there's an onX Hunt 101 class on the 22nd, which is true. If you're interested in learning kind of the 101, the nuts and bolts of how to use onX, August 22nd, you can sign up for that on our website. Fastest way to get there is by Google. onX Hunt Masterclasses should be the first one that shows up. But he was wondering if there's a version of that he can watch now, wants to go scouting next week. All of our old masterclasses are on our YouTube channel. So if you go to onX Hunt YouTube, either click the masterclass playlist and scroll back. I believe the last one we did was in May. We took a little break this summer from those, but we have a May 101 masterclass. You'll be able to watch that. Some things have changed with the features that we've added this year, but the bulk of that, I'd say 98% of that is exactly the same. So if you want to see that 101 before our August 22nd one, check out the onX Hunt YouTube channel and you'll get to hear me talk for an entire hour.
Love it.
Which is super.
Well,
All right, anything else?
No, I think we can wrap up. We just want to say in closing, like, thank you guys. We genuinely appreciate your business. Thank you for trusting us and to build with you. And we hope today was valuable. We're excited to hear stories about you guys getting after it this fall. And if there's anything we can do to support you, make our product better, please let us know. Again, we're here for you. So yeah, don't be strangers, reach out.
One last plug, I threw the giveaway link in the chat here. That will close at midnight. I will send an email out to all the winners tomorrow morning. So you'll get an email directly from me letting you know you've won, and then we'll be in contact with the partners to get all that stuff sent out. And with that, hope to see you on a future onX Hunt Masterclass.
Thanks everyone.